So I'm finally resting after a long weekend. I just came back from an Olympic triathlon that I did yesterday. It was my first triathlon of this year in preparation for Ironman Lisbon in October, and it was really an experiment for me to test some things out with my blood sugar control and insulin intake during the race because I wanted to test a different approach. Usually, I never use insulin during a race. That worked for me during marathon and other types of sports sports events, but for triathlon is slightly different. And I wanted to test a couple of things out, and it went well, partially well. I still have to, find a good way to overcome my biggest obstacle, my biggest issue at the moment, which is I never feel confident getting into the water for the swim portion, triathlon, swim, bike, and run in a sequence. I never feel confident doing that because I don't like the idea of being in the middle of the sea or in the middle of a lake without my ability to check a CGM, to give insulin, or to eat sugar, and that always throws me out. So yesterday, for example, I just before the start I was at 190, which was perfect. It was not trending up, it was just stable there. I had planned for it, and I knew it was going to be stable because I didn't give any recent insulin doses, and I had a plan, and I was following it. But still, the fear led me to eat some bread just right before, like 2 minutes before the start, and I had a spike of course while I was in the swimming. Then when I came off the water, I proceeded to pick up the bike, and I saw my CGM trending down. So it was 220, then 200, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going down, blood sugars are going down the cliff. And so I ate one gel. After all, I had 40 kilometers of biking, and it was also a very steep climb, so I needed sugar. However, that was a CGM failure apparently, because my blood sugars went up randomly, not randomly, but that 220 and 200 that I initially saw were not in fact any true number. I was most likely around 250, and so eating a gel threw me to 290 or something like that. And at that point, after 25 kilometers in the bike, I decided to give some insulin, a very small amount, which I thought it would be just enough to come down to around 200 by the time I would start the run. But instead it kept me there for a while, and then all of a sudden I found myself at 140 with double arrows down. I was like, oh my god, I still have 10 kilometers running to do. And so right there I ate one gel, and then 5 minutes later I ate one other, because the trend was going down and down and down, and then it was going down again. So I ate a third gel, and I ended up consuming 4 gels, an equivalent of 160 grams of carbohydrates, which is a lot of sugar. It was a purely reactive decision, for sure. I overreacted, I overcorrected for sure, but in that moment I was a little bit, I was just trying to manage a situation, a spiral of problems that I had created with that first mistake on the shore when I ate some bread before the swim. And so I was just trying to do my best. I let down the bike, and then I started to run. The run was a beautiful run. I did really well, but again, from 140 I went to 220, and then 250, and then halfway through it I was like, okay, now I can give some more insulin so I can at least finish in range. And in fact I finished gently coming down around 110, so at least I could just eat my join the pasta party after the race, which I really wanted to join. And yeah, it was again a rough experiment, a beautiful race, but a very rough one as well from a diabetes perspective. And I was thinking about this during the bike leg when I was seeing my CGM arrows going up. I concluded that I know how to manage a marathon. I now know how to manage a marathon, but triathlons and ultra marathons are still two beasts that I don't know really how to take. I still have to develop a strategy, and a lot of this comes down to my ability to really manage my fear of certain situations. And my insecurity around certain situations, my inability to fully trust my plan because of fear. So I need to work on that, and I have time. So now in the next couple of weeks I'm going to transition to an insulin pump, and after the pump I'm going to have in 3 weeks another Olympic triathlon, and then it's going to be the last month leading to Ironman Lisbon, and plenty of training in between. So plenty of experiments to do and fine tuning to do. It's gonna be nice.